And there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Seflivil. Yes, the group has taken its act on the road temporarily and escorted the mother and daughter Lavinnel to their new country estate in the small town of Seflivil.
Right.
The wagon train has just arrived at the manor house, and the drovers are, if not seeing to their horses, getting stuff at least unloaded into the house.
Right. Is the manor in town or on the edge, or just
it's sort of on the edge.
Right. As are we.
Well, not so much right now.
Well, we've already seen proof that something is going on that is untoward.
Maybe even supernatural.
Yes.
Oh.
Gosh, what are the odds?
Because it wouldn't be an interesting story without conflict. Relatively high. Yeah.
There's always intra-party conflict.
Okay, so two of you start fighting. I don't care who. No. Yeah, I guess some of you will help to carry some boxes in.
That's always fun.
Yes.
I'll always jump at the chance to carry boxes.
Speaking of, I can show off my skills. Wait a second.
What's Argyle's strength again?
He can mage hand boxes up to 10 pounds.
Wait.
Look at that 10-pound box there.
I do have spells for that kind of stuff.
Come on, Argyle, put your back into it.
Where are my spells? I think I have this silent.
Mordenkainen's implacable forklift.
This where you can carry 500 pounds of stuff.
Hefty.
What is it? You mean Tensor's floating disk?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, it's Tensor, not Mordenkainen.
Okay.
Well, okay.
I haven't run this stuff nearly enough yet. Give it time.
Well, let me see something.
Here the sheets. Argyle. Here he is.
No. I think here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna carry this manually. Let's do this. Come on, Argyle.
Whoa. What do you mean manually?
Listen, you're kind of scrawny.
Unseen servant.
I'm not sure it has the lifting capacity either.
It's not that way in Shadowrun, which led to that wonderful moment when you realize that your magic has more lifting strength than you do, and you're like, oh, dang.
I hope so. Unseen servant makes what does
that's
he
the one.
make?
Yeah.
What's the name of your unseen servant?
It doesn't have a name because it's not really a servant, it's just called so.
I know, but it needs a name. So
what's a good name for
a strength of 2? That's horrible. It's not strong.
We shall call him Bartholomew.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay, let's call him Bartholomew. He has only a strength of 2. That's
your magic is worthless in this situation. Just fire up your guns and let's go.
I do know, but that is something I know very well.
even I am stronger than this. Okay. In that case, I'm going to carry the boxes manually. My magic fails me.
Mm-hmm. I will give Argyle some tips about lifting with his legs.
Well, what the heck? Strength 15. I'll help.
Okay.
I'm helping.
Okay. I'm using all those tips of lifting with the legs.
Yes,
I think that's important.
You know what? Just for gits and shiggles, everybody who's doing the lifting, give me a strength check.
I'm tempted to rage,
22.
but
You could just ask me to help with the lifting.
And a nat 20.
I'm just saying, like,
A strength check.
why would you even keep an orc around?
Oh god. That's a 7.
I rolled a 15, but I don't have my strength modifier in front of me. So probably like 17, 18.
your strength modifier is 3.
James, bless your heart. You are wonderful, and I adore you.
A kind number reference.
Yeah, you're great. I just haven't loaded up D&D Beyond yet. Wait, didn't we level up?
Not just yet.
We got some experience, but we're still a ways from level 5.
Sure.
We're 2,200 levels experience points away from leveling.
I thought, Dave, aren't you doing the milestone system?
I'm not using the milestone system. I'm using experience points, and I will be giving you a good bit this trip.
Whoa.
Pardon?
Don't worry, we'll earn it.
I'm going to argue with you about that later, just so you know. But I'm pretty sure you can assure me that it is fine.
Well, one thing I will be going into the book and checking later, to make sure that I'm actually giving you enough experience for those non-combat challenges and tests.
Well, exactly. See, the whole reason I get finicky about that is I feel like the XP system, for D&D especially, incentivizes handling things through combat instead of diplomacy or other avenues. But I don't see that being the case with you so much, so yeah. But I will help you double check if you ever want. I use milestones just because it's really satisfying to do a big thing. Level up, yay!
It is narratively satisfying rather than, oh, I'm 3 skeletons and the goblin short, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's and it is
in a once a month game I'm playing in. I'm currently 6 XP and away from the next level.
See, that's the worst. That's the worst. I do milestone. And actually, I feel like my group got their baby levels too fast, but I think I'm going to slow it down now and really make them work for like...
Well, then again, 5th edition is set up so the baby levels 1 through 3 do come faster than usual because they're sort of the first 3 segments of what might otherwise have been the first level.
You know, I like the way you put that. Yeah, I do feel like it takes them to level 3 to like have cool shit to do.
And that's kind of the built-in disincentive to multi-classing.
Yeah.
You can make a level out of another class, but that level isn't going to get you a whole lot. It's the 2nd and 3rd after that. And for each level, you have to get the next milestone and experience points off of that table, the same table you'd be using if you weren't multi-classing. You get more bang for the buck from staying in the one class.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I like that. I like that a lot. Much more easy to deal with as a GM and as a player a lot of times. Okay, we should talk about this more later because
Let's see.
Boxes.
Meanwhile, Fagak is toting chairs upstairs 4 at a time.
I still wish people up though.
Yeah, Dragonborn is hefting furniture upstairs.
And, as I do so, I'm humming a mountaineering song as I go up the stairs. Valdri, Valdrai, Valdra, Valdra, Valdri.
Perfect. I'll give Argyle the boxes that are filled with really poofy comforters that aren't very heavy. So he doesn't feel too bad. Whereas I get the one that's like full of books. I
will join in with the singing in a lusty bass that is only a tiny bit off key. Just a tiny bit. And obviously, Saphira is gonna make a point of taking the heaviest, most brutal packages that he possibly can. Gotta rep the paladin style.
Soraya will make bird whistles.
Someone let a sparrow in here.
Of course not. Why would I?
As long as it's not a starling. Yeah, those things are nasty.
For the hulls?
Starlings.
Oh, I love starlings. Just not close to me.
Right.
Very, very far away.
Yes, exactly. I like the idea of starlings.
In practice, not so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get a bunch of boxes toted upstairs, and it comes down to the Lavinnels and their household staff to start determining what goes where. And then there is a knock on the door outside.
Ooh, there's Plot at the door. I mean, someone at the door. I will offer to go answer the door.
Well, does she have a door answering person?
Well, let's see. That would be Andros.
Yep. Presumably, he goes to the door.
Yep, Andros Thavrik, the
then I
tiefling fed.
Back up.
Yeah, pretty much the tiefling head butler at this point.
Okay.
Runs downstairs, opens the door and says, "Yes." But yeah, he has that lisp, you see. A misshapenness of the mouth. Unfortunate, but there it is. And the fellow on the other side looks at this, stammers a bit, and, is the lady of the house in? Yes, she is. She's just upstairs putting some linens away.
Who should I say is calling?
Yes, who should I say is calling? Yes, I am Ladislas Coupry. I am the mayor of the town, the burgher, the man who's been keeping the town running smoothly until you got here.
Wait, what now?
So?
That feels just a little more pointed than I expected.
So this is going to be one of those things where when she goes down to talk to him, she is going to have a big burly orc sitting right behind her being like, "Don't you try no shit. Don't you make this lady cry. Lady cry, we're going to have problems."
I want to tag along because he obviously should know something about these brains that are
that's
in this town.
Well, he's wearing an oilcloth slicker and looking about the. It's still moving in, I see. Yes. We were hoping to welcome some of you to town. We have a number of people over at the Bull that the ladies of the house and I guess the rest of you fine folk might like to meet.
Dang, they don't wait.
Right.
Well, it's just all of us been looking forward to this day.
Oh.
Well, yes, I must say, you know, she's been traveling for quite some time today, you know, may need a bit of time to catch her breath and so on, but we'll pass.
Exactly. She could use some refreshment and a seat.
Well,
one that isn't moving. She really wants it to.
This guy, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great idea.
What Coy said.
Well,
I have no idea what he meant by that, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to. Anyway, so actually, I leave the major domo to handle that. Andros to handle all of that. I just sort of stand back. Actually, I stand on the upper balcony in the foyer and just lurk.
Poor
lurk. It's lurk.
Just for a lark, I lurk.
Oh, the look of you larking and lurking. Yeah.
Yes, and I stay alert.
My word.
Lucky. Yeah.
Wow. And of course, everybody who is following this on live streaming is like saying, I tuned in for this. No.
Yeah, well, okay, that'll come later when we have viewers.
Right.
Yeah. I should do something about that one of these days. Anyway.
Well, of course, we'd be welcome too, right?
Of course. Of course. All of the ladies' staff is welcome. We're expecting. We're also expecting a gentleman. Yes, and friends.
Yeah. Sure. Sorry when he says staff kind of bristles at that.
We're also expecting a gentleman of the house, and I bet that's going to be an interesting story.
Sadly, the gentleman is no longer with us.
Oh, he's very dead.
Well, yeah, it's probably best just to use, just to be indirect about that. But yeah, go ahead.
How? Anyway,
he is no longer.
He's dead. Good riddance.
Just no longer.
Let's move on. They're like, Superior's like, no, don't make me sugarcoat shit.
To which Mr. Cooper goes, yes. Well, the bull, anytime. You can't miss it.
Uh-huh. We shall discuss it. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, I try to gauge from the guy's demeanor what level of sophistication of entertainment they're looking for. I mean, I know some really raunchy songs which have gotten me through many a night of barding at low dives and things.
So, insight check.
Right. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Well, okay. Insight is, there we go. So with proficiency, that's a total of 16.
Total of 16? Okay, the bull, he does not seem to be that discerning a gentleman.
Right.
So, well, let's see. Then again, this is a country inn. Oh, sorry. This is a country inn you'll be going to. These are probably not the most sophisticated of folk.
Right. But on the other hand, they're probably not the most
they are not the dregs of society.
Right, they're not the dregs. They're not the rough crowd.
They're more as the sort of working stiffs.
Right. Okay. So working stiff songs. Right. I'll just run through my repertoire in my head and prepare for the evening.
Okay.
But meanwhile, those chairs aren't going to carry themselves, although I'd really like to see that. But meantime, I guess I'll handle it.
Right. Most of the stuff is up already because you had a whole bunch of people helping to move boxes in. You kind of have the afternoon at your liberty.
I want to check out the plant life.
All right. That sounds like a use of druidcraft, which is or let's see, druidcraft or commune with, speak with plants. Which will it be?
I don't have speak with plants.
Oh. How were you doing that before then?
I don't know.
Both.
Just strike up a conversation at the water cooler.
I mostly want to see how they're.
Actually, it was a druid thing, probably.
Yeah,
If
I
anything.
mostly want to see how they are. They are holding up as far as the rain goes.
Mm-hmm. It takes you a little bit to find some plants that aren't in a stupor from all of the rain. And the reaction from them is more or less, please stop this. It is unnatural.
I'm going to try.
What plans?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Does it look like it's just like damage from like being overwatered, or?
It is overwatering.
Okay.
Oh my!
And the
Yes,
various
let's
memes
continue
play
to
out in
mystify
chat.
whoever tunes in. But anyway.
Yeah. So you're heading over to this bowl?
Well, when the time comes, I mean, you know.
Right. Well, like I said, given that most of the boxes have already been hauled upstairs and now the staff have to decide where to put stuff, well, you're free to go over and actually, let's see.
Get a look and gauge the mood.
Right.
Check for hidden monsters in the house.
Checking for hidden monsters in the house.
Hidden.
Give me a perception check.
In case.
For hidden monsters? Yes, I will do that. Not so great. That's a 6.
That's a 6? Okay, quick going over the house shows that, yeah, no hidden monsters.
Everything seems.
No, there's one that's just standing out in the open.
None of those either. You'd probably see those.
Well, I rolled a 5 on my die and added a 1, so maybe I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well,
that would allow you to pick up the obvious ones, I think.
Yeah, that's true. The lowest DCs you get are 5 for like stupid.
But you failed to check under the beds.
And I only looked for monsters. I didn't look for like, bandits
or crazed cultists.
Assassins. Yeah, exactly. I didn't look for things that were people who are bad, who are threatening. So
well, I assumed you were looking for general badness and found none.
That is a very, very nice interpretation of looking for monsters. So thank you.
Some monsters come in human form, after all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some monsters are human.
Frankenstein monster, blah blah blah. Anyway, so the lot of you and Candace will be free to go over to the bowl as you so wish. And do you?
That is a great
idea.
Lifting all those boxes has made me thirsty.
All right, and okay, I posted to the community about the different ways the signs over the inn's entrances sort of reflect a certain humor about the place to make them memorable. The sign over the bowl, as it is called, it has 3 main parts. One is an outhouse over on its side.
Mm-hmm.
One is a bull's head, either sitting on the ground or sticking out of a hole.
Okay.
And to the right, 2 men raising and clinking tankards together.
Uh-huh. I have got to learn that story.
Well then. I just kind of look at it for a minute and then go, I really don't understand these places.
I feel like it's trying to tell me a story, but I don't know what the story is.
Mm-hmm.
I think mainly it's to remind people of the story if they already know it.
Yes.
We have to learn the story.
I think we have to do that inside.
Well,
Shall we?
Yes. Yes. But to ask. Okay, let's enter. I open the door and let everybody else pass.
Thank you. She walks stridently up to the bar, looks the innkeeper in the eye and says, "That sign, what does it mean?"
awesome.
What does the sign say again?
Okay, it doesn't have any words on it, just an outhouse on its side, a bull's head, either sitting on the ground or sticking out of a hole, and 2 men raising and clinking tankards together.
Amazing!
It's like the tavern names are in emojis now. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's more that that's a holdover from how it used to be, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
excellent.
This was before the king or whatever made a concerted effort to raise the literacy level. You know.
Right.
And the standard of living.
Yes, that
Which
too.
he has been more or less doing,
Uh-huh.
or at least he's been continuing the tradition.
Yep.
The bartender looks at her. You must be, let's see, Judy or Candace? Welcome to the Bull in the Bog.
Hey!
Ah. So
The bowl. What was it? The bowl and
The
bog?
Bull in the Bog.
so by bog they don't mean swamp
Swamp.
or
Nope.
marsh. They have a different meaning of bog.
Huh.
Oh, ew. Poor bull.
Interesting.
What did that bull ever do?
Oh, he charged at anything and everything. Then he chose the wrong target, and one day it just suddenly stopped.
Uh-huh.
Another big belly laugh from Severe. And like whacks the nearest person on the back, probably Argyle, sending him like stumbling forward. In good humor, obviously, but it's Argyle, so you whack Argyle on the back, and he was like, "That's a good story. I'll drink to that. That's a great story." The bull in the bog. Oh, must have smelled so bad.
Oh, it did. Yeah, that's what I heard.
You just think this is the coolest shit ever.
Well,
A story better passed by word of mouth than waft of nose.
yes.
And come to think of it, that bull's head on the sign did have a kind of confused look about it.
It was like,
Did this bull have a name? Or was it just some bull?
Buttercup, I think it was.
All right.
Saria is not entirely sure she approves of this.
What the naming of the bull or the charging of the bull into an open latrine?
Charging the bull into an open latrine.
He brought it on himself.
Yep. That's poetic.
Mhm.
Wow, someone should name a tavern after that.
We did, thank you. And I think you'll find the story here is much better than the one over at the keg tap. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
Yeah. Loudrum Coopry comes out of a side room and oh, you made it! Oh, welcome. Welcome to your town, lady. Or countess, rather. Well, thank you.
So would be countess.
So, I'd heard something about drinks. Oh, yes. I'll go ahead and set them up. Will do. What'll you be having?
Well, I just, order something to wet my throat a little.
Check that name. Oh, I got it wrong. Ladislas Coopry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, Ladislas is close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a silent V at the beginning?
No.
Okay.
So you settle in, get drinking?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
The thing is for bards, what bards really want to do is they learn to appreciate the watery stuff. Because it'll keep the throat working without without giving them a little problem steering it.
Right. Well, speaking of watery stuff, rain. You hear the rain pick up outside.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Not good.
Oh dear.
Okay, when I hear it pick up, I look at I once again I gauge the reactions of everybody in the room when the sound of the rain picks up like that.
Okay, and another insight check.
19 total.
Hefty. Okay, so you're looking around the room, and several of the farmers sort of look at each other nervously.
Uh-huh.
There is one fellow, sort of at one of the back tables, though, who looks more angry than anything else.
Uh-huh.
Angry at the rain?
Okay. Does he look at anybody in particular when he gets angry? Or is he like does he stare into his drink or whatever? Just something that makes it clear that whatever he's angry about, it's not anything in particular.
Well, he's staring forward when he does that. It's hard to tell what he's looking at, if anything.
Uh-huh.
It could just be general anger.
Right. So what I'm wondering is he angry about the rain and whatever may be causing it, or is the rain an expression of his anger?
Oh.
That's a bit harder. That's going to be a bit harder to pick out.
Obviously.
The rain started before his anger, though.
List of possibilities, things to bring up when we sit down to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
That's jumping to conclusions. Maybe.
Well, no, it's not coming to any conclusions. It's it's possibilities that might be worth considering.
No, the rain did kind of start before he got angry, so.
Right. Okay. Oh, right. So his anger, it was in reaction to the sound of the rain.
Yes, or something about the rain.
But yeah, or maybe it reminded him of something, or who knows? Just I just note that his so basically, if the rain turns out to be something nobody's willing to talk about, I bet I can get him talking about it later on. But
you might be able to,
but not at the moment. In private,
right? And a woman, who you recognize is dressed as a nun of Arcane, or sister, a sister of Arcane. Spelled Arquennne. Brings a plate and tankard over to him, and then sits down with him.
Okay, so
And
she's not serving him something. She's just
she's bringing him food and talking to him consolingly. If anything, if you were to guess.
Right.
Interesting.
So probably he lost someone because of the rain, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Possibly.
Oh, there we go. I thought that name sounded familiar.
You looked it up in the Divinity by Domain document, did you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that should be familiar, but it wasn't quite. And now I know.
Mm-hmm. Player is using the provided documentation. That gives me a happy. Yeah.
Like, I need to know something, but
Yeah.
the knowledge isn't in my brain. Let me go access this external location.
So, what are you guys doing?
I would actually ask someone about the rain, since it's picked up.
It's been most unseasonable this year. I'm worried for some of the crops. Now, he'll probably do okay because he has a lot of his stuff in hothouses.
Who do they point to?
Okay, he's pointing to one of the. Okay, the guy you're talking to is pointing at another guy who looks like a farmer.
Okay. Has anything seemed out of the ordinary about the rain, though?
Not especially, except for how bleeding much of it there's been. I've never seen this much fall. Started early, and it's not letting up when it should.
No, that it sure isn't. So.
Right. Well, I make a mental note that when I get a chance, like during a break or something, maybe have a few words with the sister and with the angry guy, maybe, but the angry guy perhaps later on, because, I don't want to provoke a reaction that will involve him yelling in the middle of the common room. So, but I make a mental note, I'll have a few words with the sister during a break sometime soon.
Okay. So that is your future plan. Who else is doing something? So who else is doing something now? Also, Emmy, did you have any other questions to ask of that farmer that you've been talking to? Emmy?
I'm thinking.
Okay. Let's go to some other people, like Argyle, for instance.
Yeah.
Does anybody look outside, out the window to the rain?
Sooner or later, everybody looks outside.
But do they just...
usually with worry, or in the one case I pointed out to Thagak, anger.
Grumblings.
Well, I just, do a couple of songs and stories to diffuse, sort of to get people in a better mood.
Can I go outside? And so not out in the rain, but too close to the rain.
There is a little porch there, yes.
I'd like to identify the rain to see
if it's some sort of something.
If it has magical properties. And which means that I have to touch the rain. So I'm going to let some of the drops fall on my hand.
Okay.
And identify.
Yeah, it's warm, it's wet, it's rain. Pretty normal stuff when you look at it that way.
What?
No magic about it.
It's not
Oh.
salty.
So it may have been created by magic, but the rain itself is not inherently magical.
That could be, yeah.
That could be. But I was really expecting something sinister in the rain itself.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that too. I was worried that it was like inherently poisonous somehow. But I guess it's more subtle. Like literally, maybe someone is just trying to drown the crops. You know, like maybe someone lost their harvest and they're like, well, if I'm fucked, everybody's fucked. Like maybe it really is that simple, or I don't know.
That would be an explanation.
Or
were I to infer from the conversation here, I'm guessing Saphir went out onto the porch with Argyle to talk about this.
And he continues, or maybe there's some con prepping this town so that they can come in with a bunch of bells and whistles and fancy robes. No offense. Promise to save everyone from the rain for all of these good people's life savings.
That sounds like, that sounds like a good theory. I like that theory.
It could be anything, or maybe it's as simple as someone came through this town, got a bad deal, maybe they got a bit loud, got thrown in jail for a night, and they are feeling resentful. It could be anything, but
the idea with the trickster with the fancy robes, I like that theory. Let's keep our eyes open for someone like
glad
that.
you're not offended.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know some guys who would.
Well, I think if people want to be crooks, they're going to use what they have, and if what they have is magic, maybe what they do is rain.
Yeah.
And again, we should also talk to Zarya. She seems to have a feel for the, that stuff.
Yes, she might be able to warn us ahead of time before it's too strong for the crops.
Could be. Then again, we'd better move fast. I mean, the looks on those farmers' faces, I'm thinking most of them are already worried about their harvests. The quicker we move, the better. If that one theory is correct, I don't want them to get taken in. And if this is some work of revenge, I don't want people to starve because of it.
Yeah, if it's revenge, I think if it's really revenge, I can't imagine that it will hold on for much longer, because that would be some serious magic to let it linger here. I think it would abate with the person leaving.
One could hope. I don't dare speculate. Magic is your thing, Argyle, not mine. You know that I'm a simple man, but I respect what you do. I just worry what it does in the hands of someone who's not very
Of the wrong people, yes. We all worry about that at the university.
I say the same thing about my sword, so. Like I say, people use what they have for good or ill.
Yeah, but you're right about the crops. We should see to it that they are protected. Let's talk to Zarya about that. Maybe she has ideas how we can make sure the crops don't drown.
If there was some sort of magic that could protect the crops from the rain, to construct some sort of, I don't.
Magical barrier or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we go to Zarya and tell her about our theories and our hope to.
I did think of 2 other questions I wanted to ask the farmer.
Okay, let's do those.
When did the rain start?
They started about 3 weeks ago.
Oof.
3 weeks ago. Is there anything that like change? Did somebody new come into the area, or did anything happen 3 weeks ago? Like
3 weeks ago,
out of the ordinary?
you know,
Our guy might know of any unusual stellar conjunctions that would have happened about that time also.
that was about the time that Father Walter came in.
Father Walter?
Whoa.
Father Walter, yes.
Who's that?
The gentleman sitting over there, and he points out the guy who got angry at the rain.
Oh.
Ooh.
Father Walter.
Well, if everyone in town
Yeah,
is
he was just put in as the head of, which was it? I'm not a regular churchgoer myself. Arcan.
Really?
Yeah. That is one of his nuns bringing him lunch.
Into the tavern.
Well, that is good to know. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
all right. Wait. So they've had heavy rains for 3 weeks, but no flooding.
No flooding yet.
No flooding yet, but it's definitely something to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to some of the builders around here to be like, yeah, we should maybe put up some flood protection, maybe so people don't.
Yeah. Also, any building foundations that are buried in dirt, the dirt is probably getting softer and muddier.
Yep.
I'm sure there are mountain lakes and things that are swollen and almost ready to spill out.
Yep. That's what I'm worried about too.
And downstream out here too.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So Argyle and Sophia are gonna go talk to Saria and see what she has to say, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see. There are two other people who
Yes.
I haven't heard from yet. Warren and Tess.
Yay.
Coy, James, anything to contribute to these proceedings?
Probably just hanging out, amusing about the the cause of the rain and the eventual possible flooding if it keeps raining that much.
Well, usually a rainy season in the spring is a good thing. It softens up the ground, feeds the plants, gets them a good head start in growing. This year, it's gotten out of hand.
And it could get worse.
Oh, please don't say that.
For the best, prepare for the worst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how to fix the ground so my crops don't get drowned. I just put down a field of beans. Yeah, the usual sort of spring fare, a field of beans and leafy greens.
Right.
Some food for going through the year and some that can be dried and used in winter.
Beans sure are great.
Oh, you like them too?
Yes, I would say that I am a fan of beans.
A fan.
True. Yes, such startling and astounding variety, so filling, so satisfying, so nutritious. Like, it's hard. Saphir says it's completely straight face. It's really hard to tell if he's fucking with the guy or not. Like, he might just genuinely be into beans as food. I would say, Argyle, since you're right there, you might think he's like genuinely thinking about it for the first time. He's like, yeah, that's legit. Beans are pretty great. But now he is like falling down into a hole of bean fandom he wasn't quite ready for.
Bean fandom.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for the bean fandom. It's a little overwhelming. He doesn't quite know what to do. He was just a casual bean fan, and he was not ready for to meet the fandom.
Bean nerdery.
Yeah, he was not ready to meet a true
Bean nerd. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. He's
Maybe I should invite you over to the farm sometime.
My
lady puts on a lovely pot of soup. This is the weather for it.
Town on for a while. So
all right, let's do that.
He kind of looks at our guy like, I'm sorry, okay, hi, sorry. I just got us all invited to dinner. Oops.
Oh, apparently, okay.
Yes.
A good, nice exchange of beans.
Well, in the hours after the supper, we'll all soon probably know each other a little bit better.
And learn a lot about beans.
Yes.
How magical they are.
You never truly know a man until you are trapped in his gases.
Yeah.
And so is this is just a random farmer?
This is just a random farmer who was sitting in the
Okay.
bowl in the bog waiting to see the new lady of town come in.
Okay. Well, I'm going to, after accepting his invitation to dinner, give him a friendly clap on the shoulder, which probably makes him wince, and and go and sit right across from the angry priest man, the angry father.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming he has some mark of devotion on him.
Oh dear. Takes you give me a religion check.
Emma. I would say, being in the army, I took pains to go shake the hand of all the chaplains that were serving with me. So I got a 14. Let me look at my modifier quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure you have the modifier for this one.
All right. Well, in that case, I got just a 14.
Just a 14. Still good enough. You do a little searching. He appears to be in plain clothes and oilcloths, as befits someone who's had to prepare to walk through rains back and forth.
Yes.
But you do find a symbol of Arcane on his lapel.
All right. So I sit right across from him, elbows on the table, look him straight in the face, and say, "Not in a good mood, Father."
It's these rains. I thought I'd be escaping them.
Have they come with you?
Give me an insight check.
An uncomfortable question.
Nat 20!
Oh boy.
Watch me roll a 1 later when I'm actually fighting something.
Oh dear, yeah.
That's the way it goes.
I'll be like, oh yeah, I had a 20 that I wasted on hanging out with a priest dude. All right. So I say, yeah. So have they come with you then, Father?
I wouldn't say they've come with me.
What would you say?
Well, check chat.
What does he say?
He doesn't say anything, but if you check chat on the side there, you'll notice I put something.
Oh!
Short of, say, whispering, short of, say, coming around the table and whispering in your ear, or pulling you away from the table and calling for a sidebar.
So I said, have they followed you? And he said, that's one way to put it.
Well, actually, he didn't. He actually says, no, they didn't follow me.
Ooh.
And Saphir's eyes kind of widen as realization dawns, and he goes, no, it's the other way around. The two of you did come together, but that's why you're here.
There are things we should discuss then, son of Briscus. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, obviously. Where and when?
My church this evening.
I'll be there.
Please.
All right. I have apparently carousing to do until then, but
I understand. The new lady's come to town. She appears nice.
One man of the cloth to another, have a few rounds on me.
Hmm?
One man of the cloth to another, have a few rounds on me.
Thank you, but I do feel the need to keep my legs.
I see. Understandable.
It's
My whole life, I'm very attached to them.
Yes. You clearly have a lot on your mind. I hope you won't judge me too harshly if I have a good few pints. I think you can see for yourself I can handle them.
well, go ahead and have mine then. With my blessing.
I'll take you up on that. All right. See you later, Father.
Yeah, it's just I've always learned to keep my legs about me.
Wise man. Wise man.
On land and at sea.
Interesting.
Yeah. You're a few days inland, by the way.
Yeah, so I give him another look and I say, sounds like we have quite a few stories to tell one another.
I came here recently from Hannock.
Oh, long way. Is it a long way? I don't know. Long way.
Oh, it's a day or two travel to the east, to the sea. Hannock is a seaside town. Or a seaside port city.
Interesting. Interesting. Now there is a place that a bit of rain could do a bit of damage.
Yeah, at least it has a place to go.
You were in Hannock then?
Yes, I was.
Wonder if you ever sailed on there any captains I know.
I may. We'll have to compare notes later.
They didn't talk to us much. I think they knew they were ferrying a good deal of us to our death, so we didn't do a lot of socializing, but I should like to hear your stories later.
That seems like the best time to do the socializing.
Mm. And Sophia really does talk about it that casually. Like, yeah, they didn't talk to us because they pretty much assumed most of us were going to die in the war they were taking us to, so like he's just like, yeah, that's a thing. That's war for you. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, Father Elston Walker's tone does soften through the conversation.
Oh, good.
Until he's almost pitying.
Oh. And I'll say, I'm glad that we talked together, and I look forward to talking more.
Yes.
Well, is there anything else I can get for you? Have you eaten supper?
Not right now, well, I've had lunch, and this evening I'll be taking supper in my chambers.
I see. Well, I look forward to joining you. I have already somehow found myself invited to a great supper of beans. I fear for the friendships that have new grown between my, for now, friends and I. And he says this with like complete sincerity. Like, I'm a little afraid they won't like me anymore.
Well, don't forget I'm a half orc. At worst, I'll get nostalgic.
Yeah. Right? Like, you and I will probably be fine. Everybody else will be like, let's murder those two. Yeah. So he says that kind of with a pensive, doom-filled frown before wrapping his knuckles on the table and getting up and clapping the father on the shoulder, probably a little bit too hard.
Ow.
And moving off.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't mean to.
I know.
All right.
Yeah, Matt, who joined us a bit late, also posted into the chat, warning, if this is a BBC murder mystery, he will be dead when we try to visit him for a clue later. Matt, how many mysteries have I run for you?
All of them.
Please don't kill Father Walker.
I have something important to tell you.
No, he's...
I'm sure to tell you the whole thing in great detail later. What I have to say will open this whole thing up. Talk to you about it later. Bye.
God damn it. Look, I show up and he's dead. I'm gonna be so mad.
He's got a holy symbol of 3 concentric circles in red and white.
on his forehead.
On his forehead, yes. I wear the symbol of the mighty Tarjay.
Actually, that brings up an interesting question. What is the holy symbol of Arken?
Arken's symbol is a medallion. Well, it's okay. He wears on his lapel a medallion picturing a woman feeding an animal wrapped in blankets.
Aww, I bet it's a baby fox.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's a lamb. Other times it's a fox.
Yay. Oh, I like that.
Sometimes it's a hedgehog.
Oh, a hedgehog. Is it Hans?
It could be.
Yay.
Rarely is it an elephant, but that's not off the table.
I was just about to say, you have to go to some very special islands to find the one where she's feeding a velociraptor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope we don't end up in Chult.
So let's see. To catch Jilly up, everyone was toting boxes upstairs and to various places in the Lavinnel household when Ladislas Kupri, the burgher of Seflivil, came by and asked everyone over to the Bull, one of the local pubs. Turns out the full name of the place is the Bull in the Bog, and it's based on a true story.
Or so they say.
Yeah. Where they've been meeting a few of the people around town, including farmers very proud of their beans, a priest who apparently gets angry at rain, and I think maybe a few others.
Okay.
And the question has arisen, what are people doing?
Jilly is carousing and finding out what's been going on locally, and under the auspices of her guilds, finding out if there are any good herb suppliers locally. Trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, her day job and her adventurer job.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think best herbalist in town You're going to find that is Wilhelm Veen over there.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
And he points over to one of the farmers.
I approach Wilhelm.
Oh, hello.
Hello, and
one of the retinue of the new lady, I see.
I am indeed.
What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you might be able to tell me what's been going on here lately, and if you may have any herbs that haven't been overwatered.
Overwatering, I think, has been the main topic of discussion around here, seeing as the rains are so unrelenting.
I couldn't help but notice.
Yeah. There are some things you can occasionally find in forage that are up on hills that are not usually up on hills, which should give you some idea how wicked these rains are.
Oof, I would say so. Yes, when the thirsty plants start to climb, it's not generally a good sign.
No, it isn't. Jilly, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh dear.
I said Jilly.
Oh, sorry. Well, good, because it was a 1.
You dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, well, unless you choose to save that result for my next check.
I gotta run for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Take care, everyone.
See you in a bit.
In a bit.
Meanwhile, Jilly.
A unnatural 21, and I did spend a luck point.
Ooh.
To get there, because I rolled a 1, which I get the free reroll off of Halfling Luck, and then I rolled a 2. I'm like, really? Really? I rolled a sequential 1, then a 2?
Better than 2 1s.
18 rolls from now, you'll be sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Can I roll 18 more times, please?
Yep. Yay, luck.
So what ultimately did you get?
Ultimately, I got an unnatural 21.
Okay.
And 21 after the modifiers. It was a 15. I'm sorry, it was a 16 before.
So let's see. Yeah, this guy does show the signs of being an herbalist. He has some bits of plant life on the. I said this stuff packs a punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, his sleeve shows the sign of grass, the occasional grass stain, and close contact with nature. But you also notice something else, sort of there in the crook of his thumb and forefinger, where you have that skin. There's a bit of dryness, and you know to associate that with certain varieties of fungus. So this guy has been doing some. So this guy has been doing some foraging fairly recently.
Do you happen to have local truffle or any interesting mushrooms?
Interesting mushrooms? I very occasionally find those, but not very often.
Do any mushroom raising?
Nah, the guy with the hot houses is over there.
All right, thank you. I make note of him.
Seems to disavow his Uh, fairly close contact with fungus.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so let's see.
Let me do a behind the scenes dragon temperament check.
Oh.
Okay. I use prestidigitation.
Mm-hmm.
Flick my finger, which is now on fire, and mention, I really hate it when people hide things from me. You wouldn't ever do that, right? You want me to roll a charisma check?
Yeah, if you have, let's see.
I have persuasion, but not technically intimidation. Only intimidation via, the fact that I can sprawl fire from my fingertips.
Right.
Worth
I'm not sure whether, well, it might be an intimidation check anyway. Even though you don't have it, you just don't have proficiency in it.
14.
14?
Yep. Prior to any bonus that a display of magic might get. If there's a situational.
Give me a second roll because you are working the magic into it. Basically, you're rolling an advantage here.
That makes sense. Wow. Okay. My second roll was a 17.
Mm-hmm.
So after the charisma modifier, that becomes a 20.
Right, and what are you saying? That
I point to the spot between his finger and thumb.
No, I really don't deal with many mushrooms around here.
Fungus?
Or fungus. I don't know where that came from. He protests maybe a little too much.
All right, let's talk outside.
Okay, but I was going to head home.
Oh, not yet. You're not.
Then I think I'm going to stay right here for a while.
Oh, that's fine. I lean forward and put my hand in my chin. I'll just get more annoyed. It's the dragon temper. Ugh, I try and control it.
I'm sure you do.
But yeah, be my guest. Waste all the time you like.
Yeah, I can do that right now.
Excellent. And you do know the importance of the lady that I am guiding, right? And her significance? Are you familiar with her dungeons?
That's a deceive check.
Yeah. Do you want to
I'm using
risings? Because that's how we get. Yeah.
my dice rolls are going hot and cold, so I am using my second luck point.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. 22. So I 18 and then my modifier.
No, I'm really not familiar with them.
Would you like to be?
Not especially.
So, shall we talk? We don't have to talk in here. We just really have to talk.
Fine, let's do it outside then.
Okay. I use prestidigitation to make like a little umbrella around myself. Okay, spill it.
Okay, outside the inn, he confides in you. I do occasionally do some mushroom hunting, but it's nothing the locals would be terribly happy about.
I was beginning to get that impression.
Since I do most of that hunting around the graveyard anyway.
What did you pick up?
Well, let's see. You were willing to threaten me with the dungeons of the Countess.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Work is work. You know, I don't cherish it. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay, Hangman's Cap Mushroom, are you familiar with that? Give me a nature check. You have an advantage on it because, well, yeah, I'll give you advantage on it in this case.
12.
So that's after
if it's obscure, probably not. I might have to confer with our resident druid if it's obscure.
Hangman's Cap isn't that obscure.
Oh, okay.
But it can also be dried and ground up and used as a poison.
Or a very delicious seasoning.
Not especially. It's mostly tasteless, which actually makes it better for its application. Kind of stinky when it's fresh, but when it's a powder, tasteless.
Understandable. Rats
and
can be.
I have a small rat problem that occasionally calls for the calls for that to be employed.
Well, if I, on my specific duty of finding out more about this rain, have no concerns about your rodent problem, I think we can come to a reasonable arrangement where you might have a little bit of notice if there should be a raid or interest check.
I'd kind of appreciate that. So, how can I help with the rain? Because I do have legitimate crops, and they are swimming.
Yes. Have you heard any rumors? Has this area experienced anything like this before?
Not in my memory, which is scary. I cannot say I have ever seen rains this bad before. They, like I said, like I think someone else mentioned it in there, started early, never let up.
I use my prestidigitation umbrella. I extend it to him now that we're talking freely. So, in that case, yeah, well, actually, a somewhat related question.
Yes.
Are you being pressed for your supply of rat poison? Are you safe?
I am. It's safe to say that I do not have any trouble with people clamoring excessively for my product.
Excellent. I just wanted to make sure that no one was seeking leverage. That would be
bad.
Horribly unpleasant.
Well, just bad.
Yes. Terribly so.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a newfound friend, I feel somewhat protective of you. So, you keep your ear to the ground and let me know if you hear any rumors, and I will keep my ear to the ground.
And if you find any rats that are behind this rain, I'd love to know about it. I might even help you.
Oh, you and I are going to be very good friends. Thank you kindly.
Okay, thank you.
Your next drink is on me. I assume you might want something hot?
No, I'm heading home for real this time.
All right, safe travels.
Those drying racks aren't going to clear themselves. Yeah.
I imagine not. Good luck with them.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, that was an interesting conversation. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, who else is up for stuff?
As a sidebar, I do tell the team that.
Yeah. Which is why I was not worried about having this conversation publicly. Now, let's see, what else is going on at the inn? We had an intended conversation eventually between Argyle and Saria and Saphir, but Saphir isn't back yet.
Yes, Saphir also went to talk to the priest.
Oh, yeah.
So what I wanted to know of Saria was what we could be able to do, or she could be able to do, to protect the crops. If she could do anything, because I certainly couldn't.
Well, I'll ask for a nature check from Saria.
Okay.
What you got?
This weather magic, that would be cool to know.
Even so, there may be other things she can do, depending on the coming roll.
That's an 11.
That's an 11. Well, between Druidcraft and little study of the land, there's a good chance you can, improve the drainage of the ground without contributing significantly to soil erosion or nutrient wash.
Okay.
That's something you'll probably have to arrange individually at each farm, though.
Yes.
I'll let you explain it in your own words to Argyle if you so wish, or ask other questions.
So, wait, but what you say is we can implement this only with the farmers, maybe teach them to do it, right?
Yeah, we can make it so that it gets better drainage of the water without eroding the soil.
Okay. Get the feeling that this is something they will already know.
Saria is maybe a little closer to nature in a way that and none of those farmers are.
So she will know better in what way they would drain the fields. Okay.
Essentially like nature giving me a little tip and I'm giving the farmers that little tip.
Okay. No, that sounds good. Come daylight, we should go check the fields to see if that's
doable.
Necessary and doable, yes. To see how much that really is, what's pouring down here.
Let's see. What else is Tess getting into?
Probably not a lot of trouble.
Oh well.
Start a bar fight.
Oh, jeez.
Nah.
You don't want to get into a bar fight around here. Around here, the bars fight back.
I don't know. Nothing needs vanquishing.
At least not that you know of yet.
Not yet. I mean, there's always something somewhere that needs vanquishing, but I'm probably just looking to see if anyone wants to arm wrestle. Nothing plot motivating. Like,
Is there anything out of the ordinary?
There are one or two burly-looking farmhands there.
perfect.
Oh.
Draining tankard after tankard and looking around at everybody in the tavern with a generally bored expression. Maybe you can change that.
Yes. Yes, I shall. You with the big biceps.
And they're back.
Hey, I'm in the car, so I can't participate much, but I can listen.
Okay. A little conversation between Sarya and Argyle suggests that she might be able to suggest ways to improve the drainage and maintain the soil in these trying wet times without too much damage. But that involves going around to each farm and studying a little bit. Let's see. Tess is about to start trouble with a farmhand. Yeah. Well, maybe trouble, maybe not. Probably not. But yeah, both guys at the table look up at you, and then one of them said, "Don't be silly. She was talking about me."
You with the big biceps.
Yeah.
Biceps.
Yeah, she was talking about me.
And now they're arguing which one it is.
Yeah.
I will assume the classic arm wrestling position. No words need to be said. Just a challenge in my eyes.
The littler fellow takes up the position before the big one can.
Oh, cute. They're
But
doing
he's-
the mini boss thing.
Okay, so would you like to give me a strength roll and tell me how much you make or miss by?
This is gonna be hilarious.
Or actually, tell me your number. Let's put it that way.
I used my good strength roll for moving boxes earlier, and
Oh
so
dear.
I will be tired. Oh, that's not too bad. That is a 16.
Okay, that is with the strength bonus.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
not
that is certainly not too bad. It's a little slow going, but you do manage finally to pin him.
Sweet. Next.
The bigger one comes over.
My luck's about to run out.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. That's a 17.
17. Yeah, you pin him just a little faster than the other guy. Imperceptibly. Close to just a little faster. May have been about the same speed.
Perfect.
Gets the two of them arguing again over which got pinned slower.
I will in what do you call that? I will graciously buy them drinks.
Okay.
Perfect. So they don't feel too bad about it. Winner buys drinks. That's like the gracious thing to do, right?
It is, yeah. They're happy.
Sweet.
Now, let's see.
Do they have any thoughts on the rain other than, I suppose, the obvious of too much?
Well, it's really wet, and there's a lot of it.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
Makes things easier to pull out of the ground, but they don't stay in if you put them there. So I guess not good for farming?
Very practical concerns.
Let's switch back over to Thagak, who was going to do a little nun chasing after his set.
Not like that.
I know, but it sounded better. It sounded funnier that way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Well, then I'll just sort of, I mean, she's mainly just talking with the father, right?
Mainly just talking with the father, calming him down a little bit. Then Saphir goes over and talks with the father.
Okay.
Leaving the sister free.
At that time, I take a break from entertaining and just, go over and, just, give greeting.
Oh, how do you do?
Usual thing of just meeting the locals, yes. I don't know how long we're staying, but we're helping the Countess get settled in.
Oh, that's wonderful of you. Thank you.
Well, we sort of, anyway, so I've noticed lately you've been having shall we say, a problem with the weather.
The term the locals use is frog strangler.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. After frog strangler, after duck drowner, after frog strangler.
Yes.
This is unseasonable.
Right. Well, here's the thing. We actually we came across somebody on the way up who had nearly died of drowning. He was driving a cart back towards, towards.
And the cart went into the water somewhere, or?
Well, apparently it was just from the look of the tarp that was over it. It looked like it just got rained on so heavily. Well, maybe he fell back into the cart and his face got under the water, but that was serious.
That.
But here's the thing. One of our party, I don't honestly know how perceptive he is, but he tasted the water and he said it tasted like tears. Does that mean anything to you?
Once or twice I've tasted the rain here, and it was a little salty too. But didn't know what to make of that, and wondered if it was just my imagination.
Well, it's definitely not natural.
Not just my imagination.
The rain is salt water, like an ocean, right?
Ever so slightly salty, which
Ever so slightly, yes.
Over the ocean, rain is fresh water. Naturally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, even over the ocean, rain isn't normally salty.
Because the salt doesn't evaporate.
Yeah.
Because the salt doesn't evaporate, yeah.
That's literally what I just said, though.
If it's from something like a water spout or something, though.
Well, yeah, there is that. If there's a rainstorm with a water spout.
Yes, you are saying something. Wait a second. Shu is saying something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I just said, is that rain is fresh water even over the ocean.
Typically,
rain
yes.
should never be salt water.
Yes.
So something else is happening here.
There's some interesting sculpting.
Rain, but it's not functioning like rain should.
I know. Sounds like she's been to the bean feast already.
We were getting some weird
squelchy sounds.
Vinyl seat noises, I think.
Hang on a sec.
And now I can't unhear them.
Okay, I took off the case. Is that better?
Yes.
For the moment, yeah.
Maybe it was not consistent. Sometimes it was okay, and sometimes you were very muffled and quiet and squelching noises.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to take the tablet out of its case in hopes that that would free the microphone.
Okay.
So what I said in the first place was that it's not acting like normal rain, because normal rain, even over the ocean, is freshwater. That's like how it works.
Exactly.
It's
Because
salinated.
the salt stays down, and only the water rises up to rain down again.
Water goes up as vapor. Mm-hmm.
So it's weird. Like, do you guys tell Saphir this before I go have dinner with the father?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I need to go quiet again because we're gonna go get food. But I'm listening.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. So yes, he's. So yeah, that all sounds very unusual. Yes. I wondered if it was my imagination. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not that it isn't.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing it's not your imagination, but given that it's not your imagination, what it is not a good thing.
I guess not. So, what do we do about it? Is
Well,
this something we should bring to the father?
Argyle is something of an arcanist. He might be able to put that together with other stuff he's learned, but we all need to compare notes for sure.
Yes. I don't know what's going on, and I'm not sure if I'm not sure how much more rain this town can take, because I've never seen it rain this much before.
Yes.
And I've been here 15, 16 years.
Well, in any case,
Father Walter is new here, so this may not be such a great shock to him.
Right. Father Walter?
Father Walter, yes.
The one who was at the table over there?
Yes.
I think, right. Okay, now I'm hampered by the fact that Thagak doesn't know other stuff that other party members have found out about Father Walter.
Right.
So I don't want to use meta knowledge here, but I'll just, might be worth talking to him.
Well, he's seen some unusual things too, I gather.
Well, and even if it has nothing to do with what's going on here, I'm always interested in unusual things people have
well, he's
seen.
Well, he's familiar with the sea. I mean, how often do you find a priest of Arcane who travels with harpoons?
Right. And meanwhile, in my head, I'm going, it adds up. So yeah. Meanwhile, I'm thinking the sea. You know what they have in the sea? Salt water. And but anyway, so I see. But then again, I'm a desert boy. I don't know a whole lot about the sea, but I know that much about the sea. It might be worth talking to him. I sort of, but later on. But anyway, very nice to have met you, and so forth. Just learn a little bit about the countryside. What are the people around here like? Nice folks, etc., etc.
Generally.
Yeah.
Though.
Then
Though you may want to be a little wary of the Dame Calibre.
Oh.
Vanya Calibre.
Doesn't like desert people?
Doesn't like much of anything from what I've seen.
I make a strong mental note. On what basis, usually?
I've never been able to figure that out. But she tries very hard to keep Seflivil a pleasant little town.
Homeowners Association.
Something like, I gather.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah. We got a nice, pleasant little town. We aim to keep it that way. They say as they pick up brickbats and torches and pitchforks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is she like a moralist or just sort of, proper?
She is
do everything.
Rather proper, rather moralizing.
Ah, right. I know the type. I'll tiptoe.
Thank you. And maybe don't tell her I said this. Yeah.
Said what? Sorry, I was just dealing with a case of hysterical deafness.
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, maybe come by the church later. The father will probably have a few words to say over that deafness.
Ah, yes. Well, that particular deafness was very convenient, wasn't it?
Well, yes, it was, but...
but nice to mention my break's just about over. Yes.
All right. We don't have many musicians come through here. It's a pleasant change. Thank you.
Yes. I mean, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be staying, but, the Countess, not my story to tell, really. But anyway, we decided to get settled in.
Is there something about the Countess I should know? Not that I mean to pry, of course, but if my services are needed, I would like to be ready.
Well, she's had a loss in her family recently. I don't know if she wants to talk about it. It was a difficult time.
That would be her father?
Okay, now, actually, Dave, straighten me out on this. Suddenly I'm vague. Which Countess are we talking about?
We're talking about Candace Lavinnel.
Candace, right. Okay, yes.
Harquin Lavinnel was her father.
Right, yes. I say yes, actually.
And Harquin Lavinnel was the man who made the deal to have her offed by her 18th birthday.
Right.
That which didn't happen.
I said yes, but...
so that flashes by while you think about what to say to politely decline or put her off the trail or something, I guess?
Honestly, her relationship with her father was difficult and complicated. It might be best not to poke into that anthill unless she comes to you.
So noted. Thank you. She seems happy now.
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, she's bounced back pretty well. She's strong now.
Good.
I got to respect that.
Well, I should be going soon. The father will be taking. We'll need to prepare for the gatherings on the morrow. Lady's blessing be on you.
And also on you.
Thank you. And she goes over and sort of nudges at Father Walter and gets him moving toward the door.
Well,
it is starting to get late.
Yes. So at that point, I'll kind of wind down and then go back to the. I guess if we're staying at the manor house, then I'll go back there and just whatever. Or are we being put up at the inn, or are we paying our own way at the inn? Whatever we're doing, I'll just go wherever I'm spending the night.
Okay. Well, as it turns out, because the house is in such a state of disarray, the Lavinnels are putting the lot of you up at the inn if you so choose.
Ah, yes.
Or any other arrangements you see fit. Maybe splitting the party and half of you going over to the keg tap, as it's been called.
Well, let me tell you, I would just go out and sleep under the stars, but that's how you drown in your sleep.
Okay, yeah, don't sleep with your mouth open out there. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to, you don't want to do that.
Also, it should be observed that at some point, Saphir is going to come in and either hustle everyone off to a bean feast at a farmhouse or over to the Temple of Arcane.
That night?
Oh, no, I'm not taking everyone to see Walker with me because But I am definitely going to hustle everyone to the bean feast. 100%.
Okay, so yeah, that assortment of an assortment of bean dishes, various expressions of the musical fruit.
Yes.
Very lovely.
Indeed.
Very moving.
Indeed. Hi.
Hello.
Crow, say hi. Wait, can
Hello.
I see you? I don't know if they can see you.
We could briefly.
Hi.
And in fact, it's on your way over to the. Well, it's actually after the bean feast when you're headed back to the
We're
inn.
in the car waiting for food.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'll be ending the session in a moment, but I'll have you know you're going to have an opportunity for experience very early next session.
Okay. Hot damn, mayhem.
Mayhem is going to happen, yeah. Mayhem can happen, and it will, next time. And I am going to close out the session for now.
Whoa.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.